Then they saw the movie, went, holy we can do this. We can put the poor people in the stacks.
Games weren't coming out quick enough because of the turmoil you created at a company that you can't run. You piece of shit. Welcome back, everybody, to the breakdown here for the 19th of January. I'm Mitch Leslie here, joined by SirScoots. And again, we had a lot to talk about because our rumor mill's been fueled by drama on Twitch and YouTube and generally just content creators behaving strangely, if not poorly. Let's move along to more rich people. These ones, though, a little bit less, I don't know, endemic to the space. Microsoft have announced, or it has been announced rather, Scott, that Microsoft will be acquiring Activision Blizzard. Obviously, you know, the developer of Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, for a noted $68.7 billion. This is, I think, the biggest acquisition in the sort of gaming tech space. And honestly, one of the biggest acquisitions of companies that we have seen. It's definitely up there. We're talking almost $70 billion.
Yeah, and kind of out of left field, this wasn't a rumor that was swirling around that even they were kind of for sale, let alone that Microsoft was going to swoop in. Obviously, Microsoft has gaming products, Xbox, they do care about the space. They've dabbled for years in and out of the gaming space. I still remember my Microsoft Sidewinder products when they actually made peripherals a long time ago. So that was a big shocker yesterday to wake up to see this like being real. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is there's a whole lot of regulatory shit that has to happen for this to get approved, but it's heading towards happening. So they haven't bought them yet. You know, keys haven't been turned over, all those kind of things. This kind of acquisition, not even a merger, takes time. But crazy news. You work for Activision Blizzard, so like personal thoughts right away?
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm on a contract with Activision Blizzard. Personal thoughts are, I think, honestly, like the value of the merger is a bit high, or the value of the acquisition is pretty high, to be honest with you. The stock price got kind of fucking, crushed under. Okay, I need to talk about this.
Yeah, you do.
Bobby Kotick goes on record saying that the fucking stock price of Activision Blizzard went down because of Overwatch and Diablo not being pushed out on time, as opposed to, I don't know, the turmoil at the company because of all the sexual fucking harassment allegations and him literally threatening to kill an assistant of his, blaming the loss of stock price on people just not getting games out quick enough, where because games weren't coming out quick enough because of the fucking turmoil you created at a company that you can't fucking run, cunt. You piece of shit. But anyway, so it went for $95 a share, which is it was slightly lower than Morningstar's sort of valuation at the time of like 97 a share. At the time, it was like, I think it was going for like 68 a share. So obviously this caused the stock price to just fucking to shoot up here. Obviously huge amount here. Now, Activision Blizzard will report to Phil Spencer, CEO of Microsoft Gaming, right? So now, like, there's change the organizational structure. And interestingly enough, this does mean that, Bobby Kotick wouldn't be running the show anymore. It's also sort of, it's been mentioned that he's unlikely to stay on after 2023. Everyone's hoping that. Bobby knows he's universally hated by all of his consumers. And yeah, the reports are that he'll leave. Now, the acquisition won't close until 2023. That's at the earliest. There's a good chance that there's investigations here by the DOJ and antitrust lawmakers because of maybe a concern about a monopoly in the space. It's kind of hard to quantify what monopoly would entail here. They'll probably look at the acquisition value of, like the combined value, I guess, of Microsoft and Activision, but that doesn't really say much about their operating capacity in the gaming space, because you put them on a list. Like, I think Activision Blizzard's like top 7, I think, a company in the space, but like, it's hard to argue that, like, Google and their partnerships with like Epic doesn't constitute like a pretty strong majority / monopoly situation there. So I'm very interested, Scott, in how sort of DOJ are going to sort of investigate this, or whether they'll really understand whether or not this can constitute a monopoly. You want to know how many game studios are under Microsoft? Like
just a few.
20 to 30, I think. So here's the big ones. right? Xbox Game Studios, Activision Blizzard, King, right? Remember, King's a mobile game maker. They make, is it Candy Crush, right? Activision, obviously, with Call of Duty, a bunch of other things. And under them, obviously, you've got Treyarch, Raven, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward. These are all, on the Call of Duty side as well. Like, Activision obviously has studios that work for them. And then you've got all the fucking Microsoft ones. So this represents, remember that Bethesda, ZeniMax, id Software, all also under this. Rare as well. 343, of course. So it is a huge portfolio of studios there. So I think they'd still be behind Tencent. They'd still be behind Sony, as Cryptic is pointing out in the chat. But it is a huge merge, and it definitely puts, it shoots them sort of up the list here. So as an employee, I guess, or as a contractor, I guess, for Activision Blizzard, I don't know how much is materially going to change, especially in the short term. Hopefully, it takes the burden off Activision specifically to feel like all their games have to make a fuck ton of money, because it's this Activision, this Bobby Kotick driven mindset that forced people like Jeff Kaplan away from the Overwatch franchise, away from the company. And it's, I think, what causes them to produce a dog shit Call of Duty game every single year. It fucking sucks. Last week we talked about how the pros are saying it's just unplayable. Like, it's not conducive to a strong competitive scene. Maven even tweeted yesterday he doesn't know if he'll be involved with the CDL because that's just a whole shit show. Like, maybe this will take the burden off Activision Blizzard and give them a bit more runway and let them put more care, polish, and sort of, more of that sheen into their games. Like, I hope we're going to get with Overwatch 2 whenever the fuck that comes out. So I don't know. Nothing. The problem is, I don't know how much will change. Bobby might leave, but like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think a lot of employees are mad, Scott, because this is the best case scenario for someone like Bobby Kotick. I think it's possibly the best case scenario for him. This motherfucker, like, he's not getting fired. His board of directors can't eject him, or won't, rather, because the vast majority of the board are happy with his ability to turn profit for them, and only a small activist investor group is really calling for him to be dragged out. The rest like their fucking money too much. But this guy stands to make a huge amount of money.
Yeah, golden parachute isn't even the right word, because gold isn't a strong enough word for what this guy's going to make, no matter what. So these are his package options, and when he leaves that company, the variety of things that can happen. Obviously, the left-hand side tells you what the option is, what the payment is. Salaries, all different things are accumulated there, and then obviously the up top tells you how he gets let go, whether with cause, without cause, he dies, disability, etc. So obviously, the least he can make is option 3, if you will, $264,000. I don't know. I'm a betting man. I'm going to say that ain't going to happen, and probably the one to the far right.
He has to be terminated for cause. And that would require, I guess, like, what, a supermajority of his board to call for his removal.
That would have happened already.
So I don't think that's happened.
That would have happened already, right? In the turmoil of all of this, that would have happened already. Ain't going to happen. So he's going to end up with the one on the far right, probably.
It's the last column. It'll be termination by employee for good reason following a change of control, I assume, or by ATVI.
Yep.
How much is that? Read that number to me. I don't even think I've seen a number that big in my whole life. I'll be honest with you.
$292,970,340, almost $300 million. Almost $300 million and 27 cents.
Okay.
Or whatever. Is it really 27?
Well,
holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? This is this is late stage capitalism, I guess. So that's why the sentiment from employees at Activision Blizzard is so split, because on one hand they're like, God, we're going to be finally free of this useless sack of fucking whatever, but he's also getting out in the best case scenario and getting a fat severance. The only consolation we have is that he just will hopefully not be in the space. But these people, I mean, rich people don't lose. They just don't lose.
Well, and this even leans into, this is an ongoing narrative with American companies and CEO price, their pay versus the companies they run, and everybody else's pay is so top heavy. And these kind of packages are so fucking top heavy. It can cripple a company if a CEO leaves sometimes because of the stupid deals they make to get these superstar CEOs. So, yeah, I mean, like, again, as we talked about, like, Again, he's a rich fuck no matter what, right? Like, even if he gets option 3,
Yeah.
like, even if he got nothing, even if he went, you know what, it's all yours, here's the keys, Microsoft, I'm out, he's fine. And right now he's fine,
I mean,
you know?
yeah.
Like, he's set for life.
Purely from my perspective, like, I know that Bobby advocated for the Overwatch League to exist, so hopefully that his replacement does that, because it's something that I personally believe in as well. I'm sure me and Bobby believe in it for completely different reasons. I don't give a fuck really about how much money the league makes. Just that people want to be a part of it.
Fuck
the fans, the
fuck
orgs,
you, Jason.
The production stuff. So
I just told Jason to fuck off because he just told me that Bobby's worth $870 million right now.
Cool.
So wait, so if this happens, he'll almost double, 50% and 30 some odd percent more as well. Oh, fuck. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, and this guy is, I
don't know where to go. I got nowhere to go.
I know, but like, I don't know. From my perspective, you just can't let it bother you. Like, money's everywhere. Whatever, man. You know what? Put it this way. I mean, the Federal Reserve's printing so many dollary dues right now that, I mean, the inflation's going to happen. All of our wealth's going to get expropriated anyway. So, you know, like, it won't be that much in the fucking grand scheme of things.
Let's talk a little bit about the actual deal, though. Why is Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard? Besides, it might be a decent price, and you know, where do you see the reasoning? Why are they doing this?
Okay, I don't agree. I don't see the sheen in it, but you know, it's been thrown around, and I tend to agree that they're making a bid on this whole metaverse idea.
Okay,
this whole concept of these sort of these interconnected worlds, you know, in 3D. You know what I mean? You know, we saw that Facebook literally changed their name to try and be the metaverse. We talked about it last week, right? Like, every shit NFT project has tried to develop their garbage little metaverse in Unity or something like that, where like everyone looks like Minecraft characters. So yeah, I think the expectation is that seems to be the buzz right now, is that, you know, they want to position themselves to own a game development company to, you know, leverage those resources to create their metaverse, I suppose, or something like that. That's what I think they're going to try and do. I don't know what that's supposed to look like. Really don't. I mean, I use virtual reality. Right? I have a VR headset. I play Beat Saber on that shit. It's fucking fire, but I don't move around. I hit the blocks when they come my way. But you know, it's been theorized that like things like this are going to be used to help people tie into the metaverse, where it's like a virtual rather manifestation of the physical. But that's for people, I guess, who crave that escapism. I just want to escape from my house, Scott. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
Why give me a metaverse? I just want to go touch some fucking grass. You know what I mean? I'm fucking stuck inside. I mean, it's the bullshit.
Walmart.
Yeah, you see this. This is like a simulation, I guess, of what it might be like to. Real good way to take the glamour away from an awesome virtual reality experience. Instead of fighting monsters, killing zombies, generally just escaping the human condition and being something more, you get to go shopping in a Walmart. I'm sorry, I
with Master Chief now.
So
now you would have Master Chief involved. He could maybe push the cart for you.
That's true. Yeah, Clippy would be like, "Oh, it looks like you forgot to take your receipt." Ha ha ha. Great. Why? Like, why is this? So here's another. And I think this bred the conversation. Why is this necessary? Maybe people are preparing for a world where like the air is so toxic that you can't go outside, and that all of our stuff is going to have to be delivered to us by like a bunch of chutes, and you would go shopping like this. But why can't I just go to Instacart and just like pick things, click that I want them, and then get them delivered? Why do I have to physically grab a bottle of wine off a shelf? Like, what are we?
Yeah.
How is this enhancing my life?
Cryptic brings it up in chat. It's like, to me, it's like all these corpos. It's the corpoverse. I want to get that going. Corpoverse, not metaverse. It seems like they all read Ready Player One, lost their minds over that Pulp Fiction crappy little book. Oh my God, Pac-Man! I remember Pac-Man. Then they saw the movie, went, holy fuck, we can do this. We can put the poor people in the stacks. Yes, like this shit ain't gonna happen like this. Them throwing out the metaverse word is just like, no, don't do that. I think there are some cool things that come out of this, though.
Why do we want to recreate the drudgery and mundanity of everyday life in virtual reality? You know what I mean? At least give me some fucking anime titties. Why do I have to walk in a fucking Walmart? Like, that's the kind of shit I'm trying to get away from. I'm trying to get away from this shit. You know what I mean?
It's
Why are we doing this? We don't need this.
Yeah.
This is a waste of resources. Give me something else. Give me fucking Chica Fujiwara dancing nonstop. You know, why? I don't get it, man.
Now there are
I
a
just
couple
don't get it.
cool things. This could be the end of Battle Client, Battlenet, as we know. All these games could end up in the Microsoft game. What's the service you can buy? Game Pass.
Game
They pushed that
Pass.
heavy.
Yeah.
That was part of it. They wanted to push all this stuff into the Game Pass offerings. So again, that could be the end of the Battlenet client, which would make sense. And I was reading an article that probably a big pitch of this, because again, we talked about mobile and me not knowing anything and caring about it. We got a mobile story coming up. But that a big part of this might have been getting the King part of Activision Blizzard King for the mobile domination that set of publishers has, right? Because they don't have shit in mobile gaming yet, Microsoft yet, right? But they're all over everything else. So maybe that's a
yeah, I mean, I think that is fair. Who purchased Zinger? That's what I want to know. Who owns Zinger? Because hold on,
yeah, that just got
Take-Two
bought
Interactive
a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. Okay. Obviously, Farmville really started this.
Yeah.
Farmville was a Facebook game. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
And
Take-Two
I think
bought Zynga.
Zinger got bought for $12.7 billion. And I think that's a deal that's going to close early next year. So, I mean, you know, yeah, I suppose that could be what they're going for.
Yep.
I think King is a very valuable asset. Candy Crush is. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Like, I think King's revenue has funded a lot of the projects on the Blizzard side that, you know, especially under the Morheim paradigm, weren't exactly geared to make a ton of money in and of themselves. That was much more of a Kotick and Activision approach. Hearthstone funded World of Warcraft, to my understanding, or at least subsequent expansions of it. A good example of that. So, you know, Kotick was always fighting for more microtransaction dense experiences in a lot of Blizzard's main franchises, and this is the mindset that caused a lot of friction between him and a lot of the senior developers at Blizzard, at Overwatch. So yeah, I'm interested to see what comes of this and what they do with King as well. I play mobile games, but just like one at a time. I don't play Candy Crush. It's far too normie. You know what I mean? So I don't know too much about that. That might be true, but it's just not a world I delve into too much. I play Brawl Stars, you know, the Supercell game, but
Yes.
I'm not really across all of them. You know?
All right, fair enough. Well, again, we'll keep an eye on it. I imagine it'll go through unless some serious red flags come through with the regulatory departments. But I imagine this deal in some way, shape, or form is going to close similar to those numbers on that timeline, what they said, 2023. So sometime next year. So, yeah, be interesting. Because obviously, the esports is all swirling about what does that mean? And we didn't talk about Overwatch or CDL, but what does that mean for those properties? You know, MLG technically is still a property owned by Activision Blizzard. They're now falling under, even though no one really works there anymore, so to speak. All those people have their own company called Esports Engine. They're already hired by Microsoft right now to run the Halo tournaments. So in a weird way, is Microsoft going to hire ex-MLG people to run? Like, it's just kind of, it might be full circle for Adam and those guys to get back into some of these games in a whole weird way, because they're being hired to be what they used to do. Big open tournaments like Halo, right? Is doing big open tournaments, whereas Call of Duty went the opposite. Just put everybody up here. So it'd be very interesting, what happens with the MLG guys, because I don't think MLG as a company really does anything anymore. I think that's vaporware. On the Activision Blizzard ownership side, those guys are all at Esports Engine running a company.
Yeah,
So
it's just the player.
yeah,
It's just the player, the software, and maybe some of the tech and engineering guys. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, we'll see what goes on there. You know, if the rumors are true about how Blizzard are trying to run their esports products, I don't know how many of those MLG guys will sort of remain after the fact.